here for our Gym Challenge Premier Challenge, Swiss round number 4. It's just me again here at our Gym Challenge in Pico Rivera, California. Benjamin and Oscar for round number 4. We had Benjamin on stream earlier. I don't think this is the first time we have had a caster on stream and then play. I think this is the first time we've had someone go from being a caster on stream to playing. I think we've had playing to on stream, or casting. Playing to casting, not casting to playing. So, history being made by Benjamin Harlan with the Regidrago for a Giraffe, Rillaboom, Tornadus Incarnate, Metagross, and Urshifu Rapid Strike. Oscar with the Tornadus Incarnate, Flutter Mane, for a Giraffe, Urshifu Single Strike, Hisuian Arcanine, and Ogerpon Wellspring. Not seen a lot of that Hisuian Arcanine in a bit. Been a little bit under the radar, especially with the rise of Incineroar in the other direction. We have not seen an Incineroar all day. A little surprising to me with how popular it is. It was top popularity at the regional this weekend. I forget the name of the city, but it was #1 in popularity there, and so the the Arcanine coming in despite the Incineroar is pretty interesting. This is a choice banded Arcanine, Terra Fairy, Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed, Rock Slide, and Terra Blast. See what Benjamin wants to go for here. Taking his time to think about it. Tornadus, potentially a nice lead here. Trying to keep the rest of it going. Benjamin will lock in, Oscar locked in. We're about to get underway. Round number 4, both these players at 2-1. A win very likely to float you through to top cut. A loss, who's to say? I mean, you gotta win round 5 if you lose here. We have a top 8 top cut here. And just 17 Masters here. I believe 16, I think one dropped. So, shouldn't be too hard to get to top cut with a 3-2 record. We're getting a win here. Should be pretty nice. Oscar's lead, Tornadus and Arcanine, excuse me, and Tornadus Rillaboom the other direction from Benjamin. So you have not seen the Tornadi staring at each other in quite a while. Both of them Overt Cloak, Bleak Wind, Tailwind, but differences from there. Oscar's has Taunt and Icy Wind. Benjamin's has Protect and Rain Dance. So no Taunt on Benjamin's, but Benjamin's is also faster than Oscar's by a pretty substantial amount. We'll see the Fake Out go on to the Arcanine to start things out. We'll get the Tailwind up on Oscar's side. I believe we'll likely get the Tailwind up on... oh, no, we won't get the Tailwind on Benjamin's side. It's going to be the Bleak Wind. It's not going to do much damage. This does mean that Oscar can go for the Taunt. I wonder if Benjamin did not realize or did not guess that that was a faster Tornadus on his side than Oscar's. But now at the Tailwind disadvantage, Oscar can go pretty easily for a Taunt into Benjamin Tornadus and then get the, I don't know, let Arcanine do whatever it wants. On the other end, high horsepower will do a lot of damage to the Arcanine. I'm not sure which one's faster out of those two. It will be the Taunt onto the Tornadus, so it'll be stopped from doing any of its status moves. I believe it went for one of those right there. Yep, can't use Rain Dance after the Taunt. Arcanine going for the Rock Slide. Get a, one-hit knockout onto the Tornadus. Could get the flinch on the Rillaboom as well. Big damage there. And it will get the flinch on the Rillaboom. The Rock Slide flinch. We know it, we'll all love it. And now a tough spot to be in if you are Benjamin, losing your Tornadus very quickly and getting absolutely nothing in return. Metagross will come out here. This is Choice Banded Metagross, Bullet Punch, Heavy Slam, Psychic Fang, Stomping Tantrum. Hovering above the ground, having a great time. Like Metagross, just a great looking guy. Metagross does have some good damage. And on the contrary side, Arcanine doesn't really have much damage right now. Might be worth swapping it out here. Will be swapping out. It was locked into Rock Slides, which wasn't going to do much against either of these. So the Urshifu will come out instead. Urshifu Single Strike. It is Focus Sash. Rillaboom will also switch out here. It'll be the Urshifu on the other end coming in. That's when the Urshifu Rapid Strike. The faster Urshifu is yet to be determined. We'll get the Icy Wind though, so the faster Urshifu will certainly be on Oscar's side, especially with the Tailwind as well. Heavy Slam coming out into the Tornadus, going to pick up the knockout. And both the Tornaduses out of the way now, but Oscar with the Tailwind advantage here. As well as getting an Icy Wind off. Arcanine comes back out. It won't reduce the stats of either of these Pokemon, as Metagross is Clear Body, and Urshifu is most likely going to click these Surging Strikes one way or another, which will go through its attack drop. Good spot for Oscar to be in here. Definitely a potential for a Wicked Blow into... maybe not into Benjamin's Urshifu. Difficult choice. This Metagross will take the most damage from both of these Pokemon, but you don't necessarily want to focus too much on that Metagross. I'm going to see the Terrastal here. It's going to be the Terra Fairy Arcanine. So it will go from a 4x weakness to Surging Strikes to neutral, which might be quite a bit better for it. I'm going to see the Terra on the other end for Benjamin. I believe this is going to be the... ooh, it's going to be the Terra Fairy Metagross. So 2 Terra Fairies here. Heard a lot about Terra Fairy in this recent development in the metagame. Just has so many nice defensive features. You get the Wicked Blow into the Metagross. Not going to do much damage at all. Even with the crit. Force crit. The Terra Blast going to go most likely into that Urshifu, which will absolutely destroy that thing. One hit knockout onto the Urshifu. There it goes. Now, as best as I can recall, ooh, the Heavy Slam, a great read there from Benjamin. Who's going to say something about getting locked into Terra Blast, but it ain't going to be Terra Blasting much longer. There goes the Arcanine. And now one more Pokemon in the back for Oscar. Tailwind is down. Down to the final 2 for each of these players. We don't know what is in the back for Oscar. The Rillaboom comes back out here, and it's the Flutter Mane. This Metagross is locked into Heavy Slam. It is not going to be able to Bullet Punch, which is very nice for Flutter Mane. It's Booster Special Attack. And so it'll be difficult here to work through this. Wonder how, because, okay, so this is something I was going to mention earlier. Fairy does not resist Fairy as best as I can recall. So a Moonblast here from Flutter Mane probably be ideal damage against the Metagross. But would the Moonblast potentially plus a Wicked Blow be enough to take down the Metagross? We're not going to find out. The Fake Out's going to come through onto the Urshifu. The Shadow Ball is actually the choice into the Metagross. Pretty similar options. Not going to be enough to KO. Urshifu flinches. Metagross Heavy Slams and picks up the knockout onto the Flutter Mane. Quick and easy one-hit knockout there. And Urshifu going to get a little bit of healing back with the grassy terrain. I wonder if... I'll see once we get the Urshifu HP once again. Well, never mind. I won't even mention it. The grassy terrain's gone. Yeah, I think Benjamin wins this game. I think Benjamin has this one picked up. I think you might have to try to focus down the Rillaboom, but if you can't finish off the Rillaboom in one Wicked Blow, which... ooh, not going to get there. Not enough damage there, and the Wood Hammer is definitely going to finish off this Urshifu. Ooh, not enough. That's actually nowhere near enough damage to finish off the Urshifu. But the Heavy Slam, that'll be enough. And that will pick up the game number 1 win for Benjamin. Did not see the Regidrago, did not see the Furdraft, that battle for Benjamin. And despite having a much worse end of the Tornadus matchup, just kind of had the right pieces down the line, especially that Metagross. I talked to Benjamin a couple weeks ago about the Metagross, and it was something that I think a lot of us expected to be a lot bigger part of the metagame going into Regulation F, particularly with how good of a matchup it has into Flutter Mane, particularly if it Terastallizes, and also if there's no Psychic Terrain or any like priority blockers, because that Bullet Punch just kind of crushes. They will slowly figure out how to have a second battle happen. But yeah, Metagross with that Bullet Punch, if there's nothing that blocks priority like the Furgiraffe or the Psychic Terrain, which are very common, it does mean that you're basically able to just take down a Flutter Mane from full health with priority, which is a great thing to have. And in that battle, we didn't even see that. Metagross is just very bulky. Clear Body means that it's not worried about Intimidate, and Heavy Slam is just a lot of damage. And combined with being able to change its typing, getting that Terra Fairy certainly gives you a lot of value there. So we will see this battle start eventually. Going into game number 2. As a reminder, we're in round number 4 out of 5 for Swiss here. Have one more round after this. It is both these players at 2-1, so a win will almost certainly float them through to top cut. A loss might not get them there. They'll have to at least win around number 5, and who knows what'll happen at that point. So, in any case, we will continue our our long wait. I'm not sure what the issue is here. I think there might be tech issues on the side there. It looks like Oscar's getting back into this, so we should be getting underway real soon. All right, now they're searching. You know, there are always technical difficulties in Pokemon and in life, and you never always be working at 100%. Opponent has been found. We're getting underway. Those are some cool cards there. The very big Chandelure. One of the other things we did not mention earlier about these Tornaduses is that Benjamin's is Terra Steel and Oscar's is Terra Dark. Terra Dark allows it to be immune to Prankster, but it doesn't actually do anything here because Benjamin's Tornadus doesn't actually have anything that targets anyone. It's just Protect, Rain Dance, Tailwind are all of its Prankster affected moves, and that's not gonna do anything. We're getting underway here for game number 2. Benjamin won game number 1 with that Tornadus Rillaboom lead, although Tornadus and Rillaboom weren't really a big part of that. It was mostly the Metagross winning that from the back lines. If either of them decides to change anything up, it looked like the big thing for Oscar was just not having an answer to do enough damage to the Metagross after the Terra Fairy, and having nothing that really takes Heavy Slam all that well. Trying to manage that Terra Fairy might be a little easier than taking Heavy Slam better, and that's the thing as well, where you have the Heavy Slam, which means that all the people are going Terra Fairy because of its great defensive profile. You hit those super effectively. Flutter Mane is a Fairy type and Terra Fairy. Arcanine's Terra Fairy, we saw it burst that down. Furgiraffe is Terra Fairy. And none of the other Pokemon resist it all that well. I think Ogerpon resists, but in any case, we're going to get underway. Game number 2, round number 4. Benjamin and Oscar. Benjamin at a 1-0 lead. One away from almost certainly punching his ticket to top 8. Get the Tornadus Urshifu lead from Oscar and Tornadus Urshifu lead from Benjamin. So 2 Tornadus Urshifus, looking like Regulation D here, although unlike Regulation D, Oscar's is Single Strike, as a reminder. A lot of decisions to make here. As a reminder once again to those in the audience, Oscar's Tornadus is slower, but has taunt. So if Benjamin goes for a turn 1 Tailwind, there's actually nothing that Oscar's can do about that. I don't believe that information was revealed in the first battle. Like, the taunt was obviously known, we have open speeds, but the speed matchup is not exactly clear. Oscar switches out the Urshifu, sends in the Flutter Mane. This is booster special attack Flutter Mane as a reminder. Protect, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast. See if it gets hit just really hard by something right now. Excuse me, we're gonna see the Terrastal turn 1 from Benjamin. Gonna be the Terra Water Urshifu. I think might be aiming to crush something right now. There's the Tailwind from Benjamin's side. We'll see if Oscar goes for a Tailwind as well. Ooh, going for the taunt. Didn't know that he was slower. So the taunt gets up, but the Surging Strike's coming through, and this might get the Tailwind bonus. It will indeed. That Tornadus is absolutely going down to the Surging Strikes. There's number 2, and there's number 3. So that time, Benjamin pretty cleanly won the Tornadus matchup. But Oscar won despite being behind there in game number 1. But the difference here is that now you have a Urshifu, a Water Urshifu to contend with, and Oscar's kind of displaying there's probably not an Ogerpon in the back to deal with that. Ogerpon Water, one of the reasons why it's so good is because it's such a good response to Urshifu Rapid Strike, but if it ain't there, it ain't there, and it appears to not be there. Choices for Oscar. The Pokemon being so much slower right now is such an inhibiting factor here. A Bleak Wind plus just kind of hitting whoever you want to hit is certainly going to do a lot here. It's going to be Terra Fairy Flutter Mane here. Still will be slower, so a Surging Strikes here will knock it out if that's what's targeted. It's going to be a Bleak Wind first. It misses the Urshifu, which could be meaningful down the line. It means the Focus Sash is still intact. Ooh, and it drops the Flutter Mane speed, which is pretty brutal there. Surging Strikes is going to come out, and that's going to finish off the Flutter Mane. So Urshifu gets to maintain its Sash. We could see a silver lining here. Not for the Terrastal. Goodbye, Flutter Mane. If Urshifu on Oscar's side goes for the Wicked Blow into Benjamin's Urshifu, if it picks up the KO, it does not. It does not pick up the KO. So it will not maintain the Focus Sash. Giraffe going to come out now. I wonder if a Sucker Punch is potentially the option here into the Urshifu, but kind of an obvious call. It's going to be difficult for Oscar to get out of this hole that has been dug here in game number 2. Grassy Surge gets up. It was the Sucker Punch into the Urshifu slot. Not going to go through. Like play. But Urshifu gets taken down to the Focus Sash. And Frederick takes a little chunk as well. Gorilla Boom that swapped in. I did not say that out loud. A speed drop on the Frederick as well, which will help it now that Trick Room has been set up. Still under Tailwind for a little bit longer for Benjamin's side. Urshifu will get a tiny bit of HP back. I believe we have one more turn of Tailwind, or 2 more turns of Tailwind. Couldn't see it under the person. But it's going to be difficult to pick up these KOs. Tornadus will swap out. And it's going to be Metagross swapping in. If Metagross gets taken down, it's not a big deal here. Not going to be allowed to Terra. So it might just end up going down. Hyper Voice, a little chunk onto each there. And going to proc the Throat Spray for the Fur Giraffe. Wicked Blow. The Rillaboom, not going to be enough to knock out. And the Wood Hammer will absolutely be enough to knock out that Urshifu. Was on the Grassy Glide, decided to go for the, well, could not go for the Grassy Glide because that was priority move. So it was correct to go for the Wood Hammer. Could have gone for the High Horsepower as well, but not really necessary. Take like 5 HP back. Tailwind down now for Benjamin. Metagross should be... Gonna check here. Metagross is not gonna be faster under Trick Room. But regardless, I don't think this Fur Giraffe has much of a chance in this one. Hyper Voice and Psychic, neither of them touches Metagross particularly. And so Metagross should just be able to hit it with moves. There's a Hyper Voice. Does a lot of damage to Tornadus actually, but as mentioned, Metagross doesn't really care. And one more will win this one for Benjamin. Not much that this Fur Giraffe can do to Metagross. And Oscar will cancel the battle. 2-0 victory. Benjamin Harlan, that's 3-1 on the day. Most likely going to float through to Top Cut, regardless of round 5's results, but still able to improve that seeding with another win. Oscar down to 2-2, needs to win in the final round to most likely then still float through. Hello, it's me, I'm back. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about that battle, just well played all together. The Tornadus matchup is something we haven't seen in a while. There's a lot of weird interactions that you can get there, and there having the faster one without taunt was an interesting one, and Oscar kind of caught out, didn't realize what was happening in game number 1, and in game number 2 got caught out by it. Regardless, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, final round of Swiss. Don't go anywhere.